And welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Convoluted podcast. I'm your host, Liz, with your Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's your first time listening, you can always subscribe and listen to us all the time, or you don't have to. We're not making you. How are you doing, Jesus?
I'm doing well. It's another week. We're back here again. I hope everyone's been enjoying November for the most part. It's been hectic, definitely hectic. It's getting towards the end of the year. Can you believe it's almost the end of the year again? I believe it's the end of the year again.
I don't know. I just like not ready for it. Kinda am, but not ready. Like,
How you been?
I've had some crazy drama, as you know, and I'm still figuring out how to pick out a dishwasher.
Dishwasher? What happened?
Hella expensive.
They are pricey.
Well, I might have jinxed it. I'm not gonna lie. I might have jinxed it. Our machine has been like on its last rocker for probably a good 6-9 months. I don't know. I lost track of time. Anywho, so it was a couple years. Actually, I think it was more than a couple years. So we were getting what we could get out of it. Then just run it till it dies. Well, I happened to be at Costco one day, and I was like, I was waiting for my mom and sister to finish up what they were doing. I looked down at the machine that was there. It was, one of those dishwashers, and I was like, oh, looks nice. Because I was bored. I was just standing there.
Just looking, yeah. Window shopping.
Yeah, exactly. Window shopping. Well, then the machine started dying. And then it officially died. My mom had ran it like 3 or 4 times, and none of our dishes, the dishes look clean. Whether they were actually clean, that's a debatable question.
Bruh.
Damn, that sucks. So you gotta go to the old dishwashers. Your mom.
Hand wash! Oh my god, my hands are fried from that crap.
It is different. Definitely, it is a moment of privilege when you're able to have a dishwasher. We've only had a dishwasher in our household for the last, I want to say 2 to 3 years. So we've been hand washing. I'm gonna say hand washing, but mostly like disposable plates and cups. Like I wouldn't know that. If I could live off the disposable cutlery, I think that's the best way to describe it. I would. But with a dishwasher, it's a little easier. There was actually a dishwashing debate I watched where people were having like, oh, you're supposed to here's the question. Here's my question to you. Do you guys pre-wash your stuff or do you just put it in the dishwasher?
We pre-wash.
You're a pre-wash type of people.
We pre-wash.
Okay. So yeah, the debate was whether you should pre-wash your stuff, like you actually take a moment to wash your dishes, then put them in the washer, or you can just put them in there. That's what the dishwasher for, to wash your dishes. And there's a whole debate that lasted like an hour. You'll be surprised.
The reason why we pre-wash, because we don't want to clean the filter every single time before we run it again.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It definitely is all from what I got at the end, because they actually brought a washing machine expert to talk and stuff like that. It all depends on the make and model of a device, because not every machine is made the same. And then it's the type of what is it? Soap. I'm going to say soap. I can't think of the proper term, but the type of soap you use.
Dishwasher soap?
Yeah. There's an actual term. They use a specific term for the dishwasher soap.
Okay, I did not know that.
I know, right? It's the whole world. That's a whole world. But it was interesting to kind of gauge that, and a few things that I took out of it is making sure, because a lot of people don't do this, and my family has been a culprit of this, is making sure you're actually properly washing the dishwasher, like running a cleaning cycle on it every 3 to 6 months. You're supposed to clean out your dishwasher.
I guess because we pre-wash our stuff, we don't have that problem.
Oh, so wait, so you've never cleaned out your washer? Okay, that's a problem. That's one of the reasons.
No, that's not the problem. The problem was it was on its. It was.
It's more of
It's
a.
not. It wasn't balanced.
So
if you understand, right? It wasn't like it was. It was an outside mechanical.
What
area,
what I mean
not
is
inside.
it's what I mean is like it's you're still leaving germs in your thing because the machine still has a buildup. So yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to be cleaning out your dishwasher at least every 3 to 6 months, depending on how heavy usage your thing is. That's why they sell dishwasher solution to clean the dishwashers. So yeah, they're taking note of that. I didn't know that. And actually, it's our machine has been running a lot smoother because we do it every 3 times a year, so every 4 months we run it. So I would recommend cleaning your dishwasher. It's not that hard. There's an actual setting on your dishwasher, and it's those.
I know.
And those the things aren't that expensive, like $5 for a single wash, and you just run the machine one time and you're good to go. And then because that also led into the debate of, do you guys clean your washing machines and dryers?
No.
Yeah, that you see it.
Guilty of that.
Yeah, and that's also another.
That's something we've never done in our lifetime.
And that's also why the machines just slowly start to break down because they're not properly being maintained and cleaned up, and it gets gunked up because things like that. I'm like, oh, then there's a whole other debate that happened. And ever since I've listened to those and kind of seen how we do it, we haven't had to do as much maintenance or cleaning of any of our plates or dishwasher. So make sure that's a friendly piece of advice. There are those like things out there that says dishwasher cleaner, washing machine cleaner. It actually helps the machines. That's why they're out there. It's not propaganda. You just might have another thing. It actually does help. Mostly for us because my brother works in a lot of outdoor stuff. So yeah, construction, and so he had a lot of gunk. A lot of his clothes all his work clothes get gunky. So there's a lot of buildup. And like doing that, we do that every 3 months for the washing machine because of that. And we've had issues. We have like our washing machine is only 2 years old, but we've had problems with it. But ever since we started cleaning it for the last year, those problems have not arisen at all. Like it just.
Unfortunately, we don't have. Our machine's been running for the last, I think, almost 10 years now.
There you go. So you don't have the problem.
It's been running. It's fine.
Well, like I said, it doesn't hurt.
Not heavily soiling people.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Like your brother.
That's true. It's all like I said. It all depends on usage, make and model, and how well you use it. How well, because some machines nowadays are made to kind of only last for so long. That's why phones only last.
I know.
Yeah.
Planned obsolescence sucks.
Yep, you gotta love it. Like, yep, you only get this phone for like 3 to 5 years, if that, and then you gotta upgrade. So I'm due for a phone upgrade, and I think I can survive 2 more years, but I probably will be buying a new phone next year just to kind of get ahead of the game. Because I had my current phone for 6 years now. Actually, when did it come out? Actually, I can actually look it up.
I think mine's been 4 years, roughly, give or take. I had the 10.
You have the 10? I can look it up in a second.
They called it the X or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a hot minute.
Mm. Uh, 2019, so
yeah, pushing about 5 years almost.
Yeah, so yeah, and it's the memory's getting low on that thing. So which one was yours?
And it's an iPhone 10, but I got it like a year after it came out, I think, or so.
Ooh, 2017. So you're pushing it too.
Yeah, but I didn't get it until like 2018, I think.
So yeah, but yeah, around that time, 27. It's late 27 November 2017. So late. So yeah, the late 2017, early 2018. So yeah, you're due for an upgrade too.
No, I refuse. I don't want to.
Just wait until your phone says you can't update anymore, and none of your apps are.
It can't update. It refuses to update. I have like 15 gigs of where they could like update.
So you're at that point where it won't update anymore?
No, it refuses to. I'm like, I'm due for the update. Why am I not updating?
There's speculation that they have set things where like, oh yeah, it's not gonna push an update for certain models, and then you're kind of just screwed. It forces you.
And the funny thing is, my mom's phone's a little older than mine, and it still updates. I'm like, she's at the 17. I'm like, but I'm at 16.7.2. What?
Do you know what model your mom has?
She has the SE.
It's
just it's an SE. It's an iPhone SE.
iPhone.
So, and my daughter has the same thing.
Phone SE.
Yeah, and they come out with newer models every year too.
Oh, that's because it's newer. It's actually 2021. So that one still can update, Liz. That's why you're on the back end. That's why you're probably gonna be forced to update in the next.
I don't want to. I don't have a choice though at this point. If I want my phone to be safe.
Yeah, because it's gonna say like, oh, you don't have enough memory. You're not able, and then you're like, oh.
Like I have 15 gigs of memory. Like there should be plenty. I think it's 15 plus. I can't remember exactly. But I know I've been trying to update it. So like deleting apps I don't use and stuff like that.
It's gonna say that the hardware is not able to support it. That's kind of the reason. That's the speculation that happens. It's like, oh yeah, your hardware is not up to the new update specs, so we aren't able to further support that device anymore. So and then like, oh, I have to get a new one now. That's kind of what you said earlier. That level of like you have to just pick up on you, because I recently had that level of like fear with my television. It was acting up, and I was worried that I was gonna have to buy a new television. And you've seen my television. It's
a good thing Black Friday is around, and it's Veterans Weekend. Salute to all the troops that served us and
Liz, continuing to serve us. I don't want to drop. I don't want to drop like $600 to $800 on new television. Like you've seen my TV.
You're telling me I'm gonna have to replace my phone, so obviously it's a payback.
With phones are easier. You pay like $100 and then you pay monthly.
Yeah,
you see,
I'm technically still paying on it because I moved it over from our last service. So
that's easier than paying straight up $800 up front. Like here. But yeah, I was having just an issue with a technical issue, and I spent like a solid 4 hours trying to fix my TV, hoping I could fix it because I did not want to buy a new TV. Mostly it's a hassle to remove it from my wall. So.
Yeah, that's probably it. We don't mount ours at all. So
well, you've seen where the placement of my television is. It's kind of, and so like,
kind of have to with that small living room.
So yeah, I'm like, so I luckily fixed the issue. It took a lot of tech. It's something with the newer models that the feature is interesting, but it's not what I want. But yeah, I got that fixed. Hopefully, I won't have to. I don't have to replace my TV for another couple years because I'm about to help my cousin buy a new TV, and he's about to drop 5G on.
I hope that's including surround sound.
Nope. I think in total, he's gonna spend $800 on the whole system, or 8 Gs, 8 Gs.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he's getting one of the new OLED model televisions that came out this year, and he's getting the newest surround system, which is running him about $1,800 for the sound system. You pay for quality at that point. You pay for you play for name, brand, and quality. So it depends on how much of each you get. Because you can get some good quality stuff, but without paying the name too. When it comes to like video and audio, I'm pretty picky. I'm pretty picky with my stuff. So, but I'm not in the market to buy anything new. That's definitely. Well, you know, the holidays
I'm trying to save money because.
Oh yeah,
we're trying to save money. We don't spend on Christmas, well, except for food, but that's a different story.
Oh yeah, everyone. So yeah, the holidays are.
Ireland.
Oh, you have an Ireland trip coming. The holidays are around the corner for all our listeners. I hope you guys are excited. For our American listeners, you know, Thanksgiving is just literally about 2 weeks from the release of this episode.
A little less than 2 weeks. Woo woo.
And for our international listeners, I hope you guys, I don't know what most people, let us know down in the comments if you guys do anything, any holidays in the November month. That would be interesting for us to know. Just let us know. Wait,
we'd love to learn.
Doesn't Canada have like a Box Day or something?
Boxing Day? I thought that was a
Canada
United Kingdom
Box Day.
I don't know.
Day. Canadian Boxing Day is that's until the 26th of December.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Something new. So that's not until next month. But yeah, let us know, anyone from the international listeners, if there's anything you guys do in November, because definitely Thanksgiving is the United States thing. And I think they're trying to change the name of it too at this point.
To what? Greedy Day?
Some like I don't know. At this point, it's like just steal land day. At this point,
I know, right? Yeah.
Okay. So before we jump into the story, don't forget everyone to go ahead and if you want to support us by buying merch at merch.tyrant.music.com. You know, that's a good holiday present. You know, we have some fun things to give to people. Share some of our comfortable merch. Let people know some of the fun things we do and listen. It helps us out, getting us ready for our holidays, and it gives you guys something to get something for yourself as well. You know, it doesn't hurt. And then merch.tyrant.music.com, link down in the description. But if you don't want to purchase anything or buy anything, you could always support the show by sharing it on social medias, TikTok, Instagram, X, Threads, Facebook. You know, share the show. It doesn't hurt. It's the best way to get the word out there. But you know, on top of that, you can just tell a friend. Word of mouth is one of the best ways you guys can let people know and help us out. You know, that you're listening to it, maybe one of your friends enjoys some of the dark humor we spout about too.
Yes, we do.
Or maybe they have dirty dishes too, and they have no idea, like Liz, that you're supposed to clean it out, and that's why maybe her dishwasher could be still alive to this day.
It was an outside issue, not an inside issue.
It's an inside issue. Anyway, okay, let's. Liz is gonna start with our first topic of.
Yeah, I saw this and I couldn't believe what I read. Janitor accused of wiping his penis and anus on bread meant for kids in 3rd to 5th grade. A janitor in New Jersey was arrested on allegations he tampered his school's food. They include that he wiped his genitalia on kitchen utensils and sprayed cucumbers with bleach. A petition signed by parents says that the children are victims of sexual assault.
Damn. Okay, so let's see. So the janitor in New Jersey. Okay, so he's arrested. So they included wiping his. Damn, that's nasty. Oh god, imagine that's what. Because kids are like, they're just grabbing spoons and forks and stuff like that. Back when in early middle school, they had those like packaged disc things you would just throw away. And the petition.
Yeah, the plastic ones.
Yeah, and then sprayed cucumbers with bleach. Bro, this school had us cucumbers. It was a rich person school. God damn! Because remember,
yeah, right.
the way we've been like talking about school system, like they don't have real food. They don't have real food.
I know, right?
This school has like cucumbers or shit. God damn.
We got canned crap.
Bruh.
We lived in SoCal.
Are you out of your mind?
We paid for our education.
So, okay, all right, continue.
In an elementary school, janitor was arrested for spreading his saliva, urine, and feces on food due to be served on to kids, horrifying his New Jersey community. Giovanni, I'm not going to pronounce his last name, 25, was arrested on October 31st and hit with a slew of charges, including aggravated assault, child endangerment, and tampering with food. He worked at the Elizabeth F. Moore School in Upper Deerfield Township, which teaches kids in grades through 5. The alarm was raised on October 30th when school authorities received anonymous tips about Giovanni per a probable cause affidavit published by the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office. The document cited telegram videos in which he was showed Giovanni using pieces of bread to wipe his penis, testicles, and anus before putting them back to be served to the kids. He also spit on the bread, it said. He also wiped various utensils and items from the school on himself, per the affidavit. It said that other clips showed him masturbating and urinating on pillows and kitchen bowls.
Okay, I think we get the gist of the story. This guy's a mess.
A hot mess. Why?
That's a real question, Liz, with all the stories we talk about. Like, why? Why are these individuals such like, you know, problem people? It's like, where does it get? Like, where does someone get it in their head that they have to do this? Like never in my 30 years of living did I ever say, like, I want to rub my dick on spoons and forks. You know, that's
his own prerogative. He can do that in his own home. Not in a public place where children are present and children are going to use those utensils. That is grody.
Like, what would you do if that's when you found out that they were arresting a janitor at your kid's school? Like, that happened.
Why would we open up for? I'd be like blasting it on Facebook, and that's not something I would do. I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, Liz would be the Facebook mom.
This shit. I'm going to be at this point. I feel like I have to be sometimes, but I mean, like, I have nobody who's from that school district on my Facebook page anymore. So, oh, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I will have to blast about this. I mean, that shit sucks. I mean, like, why would you? I just don't understand. Why would a kid be, you know? Why are they the targets? What did these kids do to this janitor that triggered this janitor to do this shit? I mean, kids are kids. They're just brutally mean sometimes, but not. Why did he? He looks like a crazy white guy from what I can gather on this picture, but like, damn. Why? He doesn't say why he did it.
No, it's still probably going to be pending court. I don't know. That's the problem here. It's just like when it comes to problems like this, we just don't know. It's just like some random individual decides to get a job where kids are around, and they're like, you know what? Something just snapped in him. You know what I can do? I can do this to harm kids. Now, definitely the genitalia stuff is horrible, but then just like literally poisoning kids, that's the next level shit.
That is next level. Bleach of all things too. Why? Like the cucumbers. What did the cucumbers do to you?
So yeah, it's like this guy like was like next level, like about to like murder a whole amount of kids. So I'm like, so, you know, I hope I hope that he gets the strongest stuff for the law put on him, and the kids are safe and sound, because, you know, that itself is a traumatizing event.
Right.
All right. Talking about traumatizing. There. So, okay, I'm gonna read that this article where a mother who reported her son missing back in March, but apparently the police kept the truth from her for months. So
what the fuck?
So
damn.
7 months of searching for her lost son brought Betterson Wade to a dirt road leading into the woods past an empty house, stable, and scrapyard. The last time she's seen her middle child, Dexter, was on the night of March 5th. As he left home with a friend. He reported him missing, and Jackson police told her that they have they been unable to find him, she said. It wasn't until 172 excruciating days after his disappearance that Betterson learned the truth. Dexter has been killed less than an hour after he left home, struck by a Jackson police car as he crossed a nearby interstate highway. The police had known Dexter's name and hers, but failed to contact her instead of letting his body go unclaimed for months in the county morgue. Let's stop right there.
Wow.
And look at that shit.
That is shitty.
So yeah, God, that's so long. 172 days, just like, and they found her. They found him within the day.
It was an inconvenience for them to tell him the truth that, oh, by the way, one of our fellow guys just ran over your kid. Sorry.
Come on, Liz. You gotta keep the people safe.
It's America. I hope it's not being safe. And that was definitely racial almost. Just saying. I don't know what the cop looked like, but from that name, you can kind of guess it was somebody.
My name is Jeff.
So, let's see here. Now it's early October, and Betterson had finally been told where she could find her son. She pulled up to the gates of the Hyde County Penal Farm, and her sister in the passenger seat. A sheriff deputy and her two jumpsuited inmates in a pickup told her to follow them. They bounced down the road and carved into the woods, crawling past the clearing where rows of small signs jutted from the earth, each marked with a number. Oh, I can see the images. Girl,
yeah,
look at this. Would you believe that they would bury someone out here? The caravan came to an end of the road at another clearing with more markers. The deputy looked at one of Bennett's hand and her daughter the other. They walked to the mounds of a loosely packed dirt. They stopped at the grave numbered 672. And she bent over her hands and knees and cried, and I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. So wow, I didn't know they did I thought they thought most places once the body cannot be found were cremated. I didn't know people buried them.
Cremated, body farms. This is basically a body farm.
Okay.
In essence.
So yeah, this is just like
it's shitty. Yes, it should have been properly more done, but
okay. So that's
not how you would.
Yeah, they just buried an unnamed body, basically.
This person had a proper burial like a week after he died. Instead, he got the shitty way of going, and the fact that the cops didn't bring him to the truth, that is even shittier. Like, they should have. What the hell? Like. Why? This person did nothing. He was literally in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and he got killed by being ran over by a cop car. Like, that's pretty shitty. That's pretty low level. Another reason why you don't trust the cops, apparently. Because they do this shitty little ass shady crap, and this is where we don't like them.
So let's see here. It says here, back in March of 5th, the day of the thing, a retired Nesta line technician who worked part-time at home health aide returned home and found one of her windows broken. She and Dexter argued about it, and around 7:30, he left with a friend. Days passed without a word, and on March 14th, called the Jackson. So it took her 9 days to call the police of her missing son.
Well, because, they say there's like a 72 hour where you can't call to claim they're missing.
Well, that's an actual myth. You can actually call if you feel that they're actually in danger.
Gotcha.
That's a myth. Yeah. So anyone listening,
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. If your specific individual is missing, and you have a strong indication that they are definitely in danger, you call them missing. Like I
have to rephrase that actually, because they have done that to somebody here that I knew personally. They didn't bother looking for that person, even though there was SI involved, drugs, etc. And even though this person expressed interest multiple days to look for the person, that they didn't do anything for several days until they found the dead corpse.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is sad.
So yeah,
It's shitty.
So let's see what happened here. So the decision to call the police was difficult for Betterson. She did not trust them because in 2019, her 60-year-old brother died after Jackson officers slammed him to the ground. The officer was convicted of manslaughter, but it is appalling. So they already had issues. No, they already had issues with them. Oh, and apparently her family filed a wrongful death lawsuit accusing Jackson's officers of excessive force and attempted to cover up their actions and accusing the city of failing properly train and supervise officers. So they already had like problems with the cops. So why would you trust the cops to look for when you're like, this happened already? I can see why it took 9 days? 9 days to call the cops. So, I'm trying to just kind of scroll through because it's just shitty because,
yeah.
Let's see here. Each time that she called, the police told her they had no information. So she tried to contact them throughout the weeks. It turned out that Jack's police had all the answers. The department did not respond to detailed questioning and has not commented or explained how it. They can't say that they're in the wrong. Legally, they can't say anything. Because then they would be faulted for all that. That's what sucks is every statement they can't say they did anything wrong because then by legal standards, then they would be like, it's like when you're getting accused of something, you can't say anything that would put you into, that's why you don't say shit. You don't say anything because if you admit to a fault, then it's your fault. That's kind of when if you end up in a car accident and it's partially your fault. If you're like, yeah, my bad, I didn't see that. Like then you're like, oh yeah, it's your fault. They don't have to say like, no, you did something else. No, you said it was your fault. So never say like it's anything like your fault.
So never incriminate yourself, essentially.
Perfect wording. Never incriminate yourself. Then you might end up on the wrong side. Because sometimes it more than likely it's not your fault if something like this. Mostly on these big things, that's why they have teams of lawyers saying, don't say this because then you're going to put us in a tougher spot when doing legal battles. Because it's going to cost them. It sounds like they're already in a legal battle with this family. Now they even have more. And at the end of the day, like even if they win these legal battles, it's not going to get their family back. All right, let's continue. Let's go to the skies, Liz. Let's go to the skies. Because you had something.
Oh, yes. Which one? We got a couple of sky ones. But I think I know which one you want. Hold on. Opening it up, I swear. I'm trying. Come on, open up. Open me. Let me try that again.
Fuck me, right?
There we go. Plane flying to U.S. from London took off with windows panes missing. An aircraft flying from the U.K. to the U.S. took off several window panes, damaged or missing, and had turned back over safety fears. British aviation authorities said in a bulletin last week. The UK's Air Accident Investigation Branch, AAIB, said that people on board the October 4th flight from London Stansted Airport and Orlando International Airport realized there was a problem when they noticed the cabin seemed noisier and colder than they used to. There were 9 passengers on the 9 passengers, damn! On the Airbus A321 and 11 crew members, one of them who said the noise was loud enough to damage your hearing. The crew decided to return to Stansted, where they discovered 2 missile planes, windows panes missing, one dislodged, and the 4th protruded from the left side. The bulletin said the damage had been caused by high-power lights used during filming the event that day before the flight.
Oh, wow. That's scary. That is a scary event. Because, okay, so from London to... That's a long flight overall.
Hell yeah.
That's a long flight. That's scary. Just flying in general is scary for a lot of people. That's why a lot of people are afraid of flying, because you're stuck up there. And just this added like level of like damage to a ship, to the plane. It's crazy. Because I don't know what I would like. Planes themselves are not quiet. We know this.
No, they're not. But yeah, I know they're not quiet. I've been on long flights too. So I mean, damn, that's gotta hurt.
But for
the fact they have 9 flight people on that plane, I'm still trying to get over that idea.
It might be a lot smaller flight. Let me look it up. I can look up the Airbus A321. I can look it up. But yeah, it's a
pretty big plane. It's not a huge plane, but it's not a small plane either.
And it was used for filming. It says here, so it's like a filming plane. Well, it's still a commercial plane. Can fit a lot of people. From what I'm looking, but it was, I don't know. It's crazy because that's like now people would be worried now if like, oh, is one thing missing? Because that's the least you have to worry about is like the windows of a plane, right? But
dude, I'm surprised the oxygen maxes didn't like drop down automatically. Because how much of atmospheric pressure?
Yeah, because
and the lack of oxygen flowing through there.
Because it said it was colder. Because yeah, definitely when you're up there, it's freezing, and noise. Like definitely, I would take it. I would take this flight only if I had like a nice, comfy, like jacket and air noise canceling headphones for listening. Because if it's that bad, good thing they turned back because they could have just pushed forward with it, which would have been, I don't know.
It's a long ass flight. Why would you do that? This is like 8+ hours, I believe. It's like 9 hours or so.
So, oh my god, that is crazy.
I mean, granted, I'm doing that trip. I'm taking from the East Coast to Ireland, and it's about an 8-hour flight.
So yeah, so you have an idea what it. So imagine that flight with this situation. Does that put any level of fear in or caution now?
I'll be definitely checking my windows.
Just don't be the one. Just don't have the seat there. It can be on the other side, right? Not yours.
Yeah, it's still loud. I'm surprised nobody got sucked out of that window. I heard the pressure of that kind of stuff.
Oh no, yeah, the second that stuff, you have to just seal it off as quickly as possible. So, but that's all kind of speculation. There's been like tests done, but it's a scary moment. It's a scary moment if something like that happens because of the pressure changing, then the lack of oxygen you're losing because you're in such high altitude, and yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Why did the face mask drop? Like that would have been like a huge inkling.
Not a single fuck was given this day.
So it's there might be a level of like settings that need to be like, oh, the X, Y, and Z have to do before that emergency has to kick up. But yeah. So let's jump into some more disappointing cancellation news.
Ooh.
But before that, let's actually watch why this individual is getting canceled. So give me 1 second. All right, Mr.Beast is getting canceled, and why is he getting canceled?
Why?
Oh.
Why is he getting canceled? What did Mr.Beast do to you?
Well, Mr.Beast built 100 wells in Africa, Liz.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video. Combined, these 100 wells are gonna give around 500,000 people fresh water to drink. And after building some more wells on this side of Kenya, we flew south to the school system of Nairiri. And let's just say, they were really happy to see us.
So what are your thoughts, just kind of the we've talked about Mr.Beast before and his philanthropic endeavors. What are your thoughts on just this specific video? We've only watched the first 30 seconds.
I know, we only seen the first 30 seconds. I think that's a great thing. Like, that's a wonderful, thing he's doing for the world. I mean, he's not just limited to just hey, just this country of the United States. When he was in Mexico and he was helping with cataracts, and now he's in Africa helping water. I mean, like, what? Why are we dissing on him? He's doing actually something good with the money. He's not even using it for selfish gains. He's using it for the right way. It should be, if anybody who's makes a lot of money should be using it for philanthropic, excursions, and he's doing an amazing job on that. I don't understand why water would be such a bad thing.
That's a good question. So we can just jump into it, because for the most part, the video is going to be him showcasing how to build everything. So let's just jump into the video that's going to kind of explain why he's getting canceled here.
On this channel, but it's not because of a lack of things to talk about. I could have made 3 videos on road to Mr. about.
Oh yeah, he was getting canceled because of that, but it doesn't matter.
I don't need to make a video. I can just do it when I to watch, because I've been thinking about Rosanna one, some hot water, because he built 100 wells in Africa. But I have a bigger theory. He's not actually in hot water. And the bigger problem we have to talk about today is dog shit journalism. But first, let's get through the context. If you didn't see Mr.Beast's latest upload, he said it took him 8 months of preparation to make and a whole lot of money, but he did.
That's true. It takes a lot to get these level of. It takes a lot to do things like that for communities. It's not like I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and I'm gonna go help hundreds of people
with my last $500 in my pocket. It's not gonna happen like that.
That's why there are organizations out there that do planning and do things like this. That's what they're for, is to do things like this, to plan things in the long term, to kind of facilitate things like this. And 8 months is a reasonably short amount of time, I would think, to get 100 wells for communities. And on top of that, he still has to also film and everything, but that's a second part to helping the community.
Did what the title says.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water!
We just saw this, yes.
And then he did it. I mean, I didn't go look at the wells myself personally, but I'm pretty sure he's not lying. That'd be pretty bad to lie about. He made 100 wells.
Families will come together,
and people were happy because then they had access to clean water. Good, that's a good thing. I feel like
Yeah, sounds like we all agree.
Yeah, we could all pretty much agree. Good that there are wells where there were not wells before. Technically, I think they're not called wells anymore. They're like boring holes. I don't know. I don't know either.
But I still call them wells.
And Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I call them wells too.
Right before this video came out, said, "I already know I'm gonna get canceled because I uploaded a video."
So he already posted on Twitter that he's gonna get already canceled. How much leniency do you have to be how much foresight do you have to know that I'm going to be uploading a video and I'm already going to get shit for it? Doesn't that suck?
It does. I mean, like, he already knows it's going to be bad juju, but he's doing it for the good of the world, not for himself. Yeah, he did plan. But he was trying to say, hey, I'm doing something good with this money that you gave me, guys.
So let's see what.
Helping people, and to be 100% clear, I don't care. I'm always going to use my channel to help people and try to inspire my audience to do the same. And then smiling face with open mouth and also cold sweat emoji attached to it. And then, just like he predicted, Mr. Beast got.
So a Yahoo News article was written about him. While American YouTuber Beast's goal was to provide clean drinking water for 500,000 people, 500,000 people, activists say his actions shamed the Kenyan government and help perpetrate the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts. So this is kind of the thing. So just kind of reading that, the thing is, a government should be able to, let's kind of get into a little bit of politics, but for the most part, the idea of politics and the government should be to help provide for the people they serve, right? As we know, that is not the answer. The government works on whoever gives them the most money. We know this.
Exactly.
So they're providing for the people.
Who lines their pockets? Who lines their pockets? Who gets their votes?
Exactly. So that's how we know it. but for the most part, the rose-colored glasses we all sadly wear is like they're supposed to be helping the people. They do very sometimes, but this just puts an idea of like, oh, this one dude decides to help our communities, but the government can't do the same. Why does it have to be this one dude? And then the other side of the coin is like, do you remember all those when you're growing up as a kid, those commercials where it's like help a child in Africa things and stuff like that?
Oh, they still do it. They still do it.
And it's that thing where
it's still there. It's still active.
Yeah, and it's I can see why it feels like it feels like they're living off that, and it's kind of like that. I think that just puts more detriment on the image that the people, because probably some of them, the country is pretty well off, but it's probably the parts of the country that has a little bit more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's continue. So why is publishing canceling Mr.Beast? Or
canceled? Yup. Yahoo News reports, while American YouTuber MrBeast's goal was to provide clean drinking water for 500,000 people, activists say his actions shame the Kenyan government and help perpetuate the stereotype that, quote, Africa's dependent on handouts. Whoa, pretty scathing article here from Yahoo News, and it got picked up by a couple of people. This is ridiculous. The real thing that makes these activists mad is that MrBeast solved the problem for little money and little time, showing that everything's corrupt. And Colin said, report, very journalistically, activists are upset at YouTuber MrBeast for building 100 wells across Africa. And then said, with a direct quote here, they're actually mad because MrBeast was a white male solving the problem. Quote,
that's the other thing. It's like calling him like it takes this like white savior to save the people, and you know that's another issue that just comes about. Like someone just can't be out there to help other individuals. It has to be another way.
It has to be criticism. Oh, you're doing this because you want the likes and you want the views. I mean, like, but he's doing something good with money. He's not actually using it to line his pockets like the rest of the world.
True. He makes the videos to get the money to put it back into more videos, into more philanthropy work, so he can continue doing it. He's taking the money from the advertisers to make more videos, to make more money, to be able to do more projects, to do good. There is a cycle in there, and it just sucks that from some people's perspective, it just like, because he's a white dude doing these things, it seems off-putting.
And if it was any other color, we wouldn't even hear it on the news. Oh
no, we would, and in other ways too. There's always,
yes, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be as hyped up. It's not as bad, you know what I mean? Like, because he is a white male from America, like that's just it, you know. If it was some Indian from, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, just these crazy things. Like, it wouldn't be so hyped up, you know. All right, another brown guy helping out another brown people. So I mean, like, come on.
All right, let's continue.
Been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because of fundraising, awareness, advocacy. That all takes work, says the founder of Face Africa. And then overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure, and then he's quoting that person. And then MrBeast, and then quoted the MrBeast can cancel. So maybe it's true. All right, maybe it's not dog shit journals. Maybe MrBeast is getting canceled because he's a white man who came in and solved this issue of no access to water for 500,000 people, which I think we could all shake firm hands about and say, that's dumb. I think it's okay. I think if he's able to use his money and his resources to help people, I don't give a shit if he is white or if he is 6'3", or if he does occasionally show pictures of himself shirtless, looking quite ripped, but holding his balls somewhat hard.
So yeah, it definitely, like you stated earlier, he's doing a lot of good, and he's been getting a lot of shit. We didn't pick up on his last one because that one was weird. I was following it a little bit. Following it, quote, live, but it kind of began, and I'm we're not touching that with a 10-foot pole because there's just not enough information. But with this one, it's more about criticism and things like that. Because for the most part, this is not the first time we've talked about Mr. Beast getting canceled. And now it's just him helping another country with their water problem. And I know you don't actively watch YouTube that much, so you don't stay up.
No.
But it's these moments that you see these things, or like he's just trying to help individuals, and we do talk about it online, to kind of like, hey, this is what's happening and stuff like that. It just hurts to see when someone good is trying to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with that.
Why do we ask?
Go for it.
Why do we have to push down the person who's doing good for the world, like, to get canceled? I mean, like, again, it doesn't matter the skin color. It shouldn't matter what they're doing. At least they're doing something good with their money. They're not backing the money within their pockets. Like, they're doing well with that money and taking it and doing something good with it. Like, they're not sitting around and just being lazy about it. They're doing active, like, things. I mean, why does that have to be such an issue?
And people get mad. There's always an issue.
It had nothing to do at home.
Is more important. But that's not what actually happened.
Oh, let's find out.
Like, almost none of this happened. If we actually take a look at the Yahoo article, a lot of the first people quoted in this are just supporting Mr. Beast. In fact, this person right here is a prominent activist and said, every 5 years we get elected members of parliament and senators in Kenya a car that's worth $33,000, but we don't have money to drill boreholes for our people. So that just more so seems to be chastising the government. And then here's the quote from the activist who called out Mr. Beast. But let's actually look at the quote. Overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all this attention. It's a little frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is. And then she praised Mr. Beast for shining the spotlight on the need for clean water supply, but warned the issue's sustainability. Because what happens is a lot of people come along, they'll build a well, they'll make a borehole, but then it won't be functional in 3 to 5 years, and then they have to go back to unsafe creek water.
And that's understandable. When some people do try to do some good, but then once like, oh, I'm done, and never maintain it, kind of what we were talking about, your washing machine, you weren't maintaining it, now it's broken. Kind of full circle right there. Going for full circle. It's like if you do one good deed but don't maintain it, then it's like, why are you doing it just for that one moment of publicity, basically? And it's good to put a spotlight, like they said, onto, like, I would not have, like, I know there are certain parts of the world that have problems, right? But for the most part, what are me, you, or any of our listeners or watchers able to do? We're able to donate, but then it's like, where do we donate? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just a hodgepodge mess. But there's someone like Mr. Beast who's able to, who has the ability, who has the contacts, who have the means, perfect, to do it.
Or river water or whatever. So yes, that's fair. That's a good concern to throw out there. And if in 5 years all 100 Mr. Beast boreholes are no longer working,
boreholes, that's just getting funny now.
Creeks, we can talk about it at that point. But I wouldn't really call this a scathing activist lambasting Mr. Beast. The only thing that I think would perturb people is the white male figure part of it. Why is race being thrown into it? And that's a whole nother issue with, I think, a lot of people maybe in Kenya being proud and different things going on there. But as a whole, I don't really find to be an attempt at canceling Mr. Beast. I think it's someone who's just asked their thoughts, who is also helping tackle similar issues, right? But then if we look at back at this quote, Colin also says, others were upset that Mr. Beast highlighted the failures of the Kenyan government that maintain the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts and philanthropic intervention. others. All right, well, let's take a look at who these others are. It turns out they are one other, a Kenyan politician named Francis Gaito, who criticized Mr. Beast, saying that, like he said here, Africa is dependent on handouts and philanthropic intervention. That's one dude. That was
just one dude.
Person. He's right here. This is the video he made. And let me tell you, he got clowned on. The video's got 1.1 million views, 1.1 K likes, 1,000 quote retweets. People were not happy with the video that he made here. He's also just an aspiring politician, which is just different phrasing for a dude.
So he's trying to. That's another thing in politics is when you're trying to. There was an article I wanted to get into, but we might not get into because we don't really talk about politics too much, unless it's pretty funny. About the politician whose her sex tapes got leaked from her and her husband, and it kind of like lost her the race in a sense. Sadly.
But if it was a guy and it was male and white, he would have gotten away with it. They were applauding for his work and activity in that video. I don't think so. And it's all because she's a woman.
I don't think so. I think any sex tape scandal, doesn't work in politics. But anyways, there was that. But getting back to it, just like this level of politician will do anything to gain favor with the people instead of actually helping the people. They just make promises to the people. Like, I think we're also a little bit bad with that because we keep promising that we're going to be making bonus content. It's just hard to set time aside. So sorry, people. Okay, we are doing our best to try to get this content out. It's just Liz is busy. Liz is busy. She's still recovering, and she's about to. I think honestly speaking, like bonus content will probably happen next year because you would be properly fully recovered. And we could probably actually set.
I might actually have some time to take off.
Like actually, and because you did take time off, but it's like time off where you're like sitting at home just trying to not suffer. Not like time where I could have gone to your house and recorded a proper episode. Like that wouldn't be fun content. It's just more like Liz wants to recover. I want to take the time to be able to help you guys edit something so you guys have something worth what you're paying for, right? We want to make fun things for you guys. And even though we're like we do these fun little ones for like there's a lot like the Mr.Beast Cancelation, like this talking about this is just like it's just people don't know. Some people don't know about it. Like Liz would not know about it. But I would think Liz would care a little bit because she knows who Mr.Beast is and all the work he does. And for her, like, how do you feel knowing that they're trying to cancel him specifically? How do you feel knowing a little about him? You don't know him personally, but you know of him.
I think the ridiculousness behind it, because how many times have we heard that he's going to be canceled? How long does it last, really? So, I mean, if they're really going to cancel him, that's going to be some serious... we're going to find... Somebody else is going to be the next Mr. Beast. I'm just saying, there's somebody always there to replace somebody. I personally like watching this guy because he's got the great aura, energy. He just has this, like, great feel about him that, you know, he's a good person all around. Well, to the most part, I don't know him personally, but I'm just saying, like, that he just presents himself that way. And I feel like he's doing some good for this world, and I would really hate for him to be canceled because I think we need more people like him.
True. And there are people who try to be a Mr. Beast, but not in the sense of his philanthropic works, just making his videos because they make money. And they copy them and copy the quotes to an extent, and they get some views. Like we could probably do one where we could like some of his old videos, like who can stand longest in a circle for $1,000. Like we can go old school Mr. Beast, do that, and then just start going back to what he used to do, and then. There have been people that do it, but there's no one who pushes it to the level of like good he does, I would say. That's the issue. It's like there are people who try to be Mr. Beast, but don't do it. Don't be a Mr. Beast. They just do the video portion. So there are people out there who are trying to be Mr. Beast. It's just not the whole thing, not the whole package. Let's continue.
Nope.
Aspiring politician's not a job.
That's
It's the hope for a job. I'm an aspiring YouTuber with 10 million subscribers. I'm not that.
We're aspiring podcasters, Liz.
We are.
What's the point? What is the purpose of this? This all started because of the sentence activists, which isn't even accurate, by the way. The activists did not say that this helped perpetuate the stereotype that Africa is dependent on handouts. That's what the aspiring politician said. The activist, singular, said a whole different sentence. This is just a misquote. It's a malattributed quote. I don't know why the fuck Yahoo News did that. But because Yahoo News did that, then Colin showed up and did the same fucking thing. Colin showed up and he started quoting activists and others. But that's not right. It was one person, one activist. It was one politician that was quoted. And then all of a sudden there's like this huge group of people who are like, Mr. Beast getting fucking canceled. This makes no damn sense. I bet it's the liberals. I bet it's the liberals unhappy that a white man's successful. It's not it. That's not what's going on, even a little bit, tiny bit at all. They're not following the SPJ Code of Ethics, by the way. If you're a journalism student or an aspiring journalist, this is what you should be following. The 4 pillars. I'm going to teach you it. You should remember this shit.
Okay,
you ever see a journalist who's acting up, you tell them, hey, where are your pillars? Because they'll fuck.
Yeah, this is good to know, but I think we're fine. Give us 1 second, everyone. So yeah, it is kind of poor writing sometimes because we've taken articles. I remember when I gave you that fake news article, remember? Yeah, months ago, where it was a Florida man story, the Florida man story, which sounded like a real one. And
there's so many of them, Florida mans, I can't remember anymore.
True. But I had ChatGPT write a fake Florida man story, and Liz thought it was a real article. But it's one of those things where
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Now you tell me.
but it's when there's an actual writer for articles, right? And they do a poor job. When people sometimes don't read articles, they just read titles. But when they do read the articles, and if it's poorly written, then it can be misconstrued. I think we read surprisingly a good amount of. I think this show. I think I've read the most amount of articles I've ever read in general, because for the most part, I don't read news articles unless it's for the show. I watched, like, I'm gonna say internet news in the sense where it's like I watch the news from like 3 different news YouTubers, news site, YouTube news channels, and like for the most part, when I get home, I can see the news is playing on the television in the morning. I'm like, oh, let's see what's happening. But like, I don't watch traditional news for the most part. It's just one of those things where, like, poor writing, poor reporting can really misconstrue things. And it sounds like in this issue, it just sounded like there was only 2 individuals who had words to say, but it sounded like, no, it's like hundreds of people are having issues with it. But no, it was like just 2 individuals who are just putting their thoughts out there. Like one saying like, oh, like it sucks. Where I think the first person, the activists, the single activists, were happy that they were putting a spotlight in the water issue. But the only thing that was like, was weird was saying that he was a white male, which is fine. I think that's just fine, them stating that. But then it was the other individual, the inspiring politician, who was upset with this, and then just kind of bundling them up together as these people who are all upset. Like, and it,
all these people, 2 people.
So yeah, and then because of
I didn't hear anybody else upset. I think it was just 2.
No, because then these, well, there's like one real upset. But yeah, it's oh god, it's crazy, isn't it? That these things can get blown out of proportion because of some poor writing.
Yeah, right.
So
That's why you read your things, make sure it looks good, and actually having a proper quotes.
so do you have any other final thoughts on this this cancellation? These thoughts on how?
No, I hope he doesn't get canceled. I hope he continues his great philanthropy. I don't think he'll be canceled.
No, I don't think so. Cool. I think he's good. Until a murder thing happens or a sex scandal happens, I think Mr.Beast is pretty much good. Yeah, I think he should be fine. Because he's been in other sticky situations when people have accused him, and they've been pretty much like either like nothing burgers or just like just like okay, or just some people just trying to take him down. But yeah, we'll see what comes about. I'm hoping for. I don't know what I'm hoping for. This one is like for sure nothing's gonna really happen to Mr. Reed, but it's more just I hope people just learn a little bit that things can just get blown out of proportion. Don't take everything for face value. Take a moment, like as an individual, take a moment to stand back. Like you're listening to me and Liz talk about it and give our thoughts, but take a moment to stand back and think about what we said, what you've heard, look into it, and create your own opinions. Because like we won't tell you what to think. But yeah, we're right though.
Maybe we do.
Right. Well, I'm right. Liz is wrong. So listen to me. Don't listen to Liz.
Yeah, definitely. It's a male power right there.
Exactly. But yeah, so let's see what happens with this. I hope he continues his work. And I think we're right there at the end of the show. Liz, is there anything last minute you want to say before we conclude?
Salute to the troops. Have a great weekend. I know this will air like on the last day of the weekend. I hope you guys are ready for the holidays. I've already started working on our Thanksgiving meal. Crowding up our stuff. Start early, guys. I already started my earliness. So don't forget to enjoy yourselves. Have fun. We'll see you next week for sure.
All right then, everyone. Thanks again for listening or watching. If you want to support us, don't forget to buy merch at merch.tyrant.com. Don't forget to tell people about the show on any social media out there or tell a friend. Just tell them, slap it in their face, download it on their phone. We're on every podcast platform, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube. But yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. So until next time, see ya.
Bye.